All right, it's showtime. It says we're live with Decoupage Queen and Miss Robin. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday.
Yes, it is a happy Saturday with Decoupage Queen. Well, of course, we're going to give everybody a minute or two to kind of come in and say hello and all that good stuff. But as you know, with Decoupage Queen Saturday, do you know what that comes with? Anybody? Can anybody take a guess? We got a goodie bag tonight too. So make sure you like the video, love it. Of course you're gonna love it. You gotta love it. And then share it and tag a friend. That's it. It's that simple. And then you get to be here with Miss Robin, and she's gonna show us some amazing things today. I'm really excited about what she's gonna show us today, and I think you guys are too. So, and I'm going to let her take over and kind of give us a little snippet of what she's going to show us today.
Yes. Hello. So you guys, a lot of you that watch me all the time know that originally I was kind of a furniture painter, and then I got into doing smalls. So I thought I would go back to my roots just a little bit. And I've had these trunks in my building forever. And, you can't give them away. It's like $50, come get it, and people are like, yeah, it's boring. But if I decoupage it, I'm just saying it's a custom trunk, right? And then we can ask, maybe more money for that. So I'm going to show you guys from start to finish. Every side of this trunk is at a different stage. So please bear with me.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so I thought for trunks, that these papers here, so this is Elaine's journey, and I think this is one of the retired papers, so if you want this paper, you better get on it. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is. And this is Elaine's journey. How cool is this, though, for a trunk, right?
Absolutely. I completely agree.
And I really feel like this paper goes well with it, and this is called Passing Time. And it's sort of just mixed media kind of stuff. And I'm going to show you like lots of fun stuff you can do to play off these papers with stencils, with molds, with all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, this is exciting. So you're going to share some of your process with us today.
Yes, the whole process.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yes, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm really excited. That is awesome to be able to see the process, like the beginning stages of how to start something, because sometimes we have a hard time with knowing how to start or what's right and what's wrong. So this is awesome. Thank you so much, Robin.
Sure. So I'll start from the very beginning. So this is what the trunk looks like originally here. And this is my favorite cleaner. It's called Crud Cutter. Sometimes they have it at Home Depot. Sometimes you have to order it on Amazon, but it's a cleaner degreaser. And I spray this on here, and then I just use a rag and I clean all of that off. And then I usually let it dry about 30 minutes. And then once it's dry, I'm ready to go. So my next step is to get my favorite, like you're going to want a kind of a blocker primer to go on this. This does have some rust on it. You could seal this. Sometimes I'll seal it with like a marine grade top coat that's a water based. And then I'll do my primer on top of that. Sometimes I'll just seal it with like a Rust-Oleum type product. But it's usually fine. I usually don't have an issue with it, but just a little bit of rust, which is kind of cool, but we're going to make it even cooler. Okay. So let me just start out with the priming process, because I want y'all to see the ugly stage, because what I don't want you to do is get into a project like this, and then you're like, why did I do this? Like, have y'all ever done that? Like you get into it and you're like, what was I thinking?
Like, why? How did I start this? I do want to take just a second to say hi to everybody. Thank you so much for coming today, everyone. Thank you. I don't want you thinking we're ignoring your hellos. Hello. And I do have a little bit of comedy for you, Miss Robin.
Oh.
So Miss Terry said, Ronnie isn't in that trunk, is he?
Ronnie is right here behind me.
All right then. Ronnie better be on his best behavior from now on.
Ronnie's tired. He's been working all day long.
That was
Doing
cute.
stuff. So I'm just putting this. I want to save my wood. So these are wood strips, and I don't want to cover them up. If I did, I could faux stain them, with some glaze or something, but I'm just going to not paint them, and we'll get them later. So I'm just putting on a coat of this. I'm using a bonding blocking primer. So, if you want to message me of what my favorite is, I'll tell you, but whatever your favorite is, you could use too. And that's just what you want. And I do paint the black. So this black is metal, and you'll see why in a minute. And I'm not going to paint this whole thing on live. I'm just showing you guys what it looks like so you don't freak out and go, oh my God, this is the worst idea I ever had. Because it's really not. I'll show you all the phases.
This is
So
really
you just want to.
awesome, Robin. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. So once you get a coat of this, and this is pretty much as I'm going to do, and then I'll finish it when we're not on a live because I've got a lot to cover. So once you get this coated, and I'm just going to cover everything. I could do my locks too, but I'm going to put some metallics and stuff on these to sparkle them up. But once you get everything covered, and of course, if you're doing decoupage paper, you probably want 2 coats because you're going to want that white in the background. So once you get this on and dry and do your second coat, then you're going to be all ready for the next step. So that's step 1 is clean and prime. Pretty easy, huh?
So far, so good. So far.
Yep. Yeah.
Hello,
So let me.
everyone. Hello, Miss Leanne. Hello, Joan. Hello, everybody. All the new ones.
I always keep baby wipes handy because I'm messy. Okay.
Oh, they're our best friends, aren't they?
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so this is, I'm going to try to get this in the screen. Okay, so you can see this is, oops, wrong way. All right, so here is after we have done step 1 and step 2. So we cleaned and we primered. So we've got our 2 coats of primer on here. I am going to put paper here and here. Not quite sure what I'm going to do here. I'm thinking of an accent color. Maybe do paper here. It speaks to you once you do it. Let me see. This side, I've already kind of done my metallics as well. So I'm pretty far along on this side. I'll go ahead and do the paper to show you that part. And then let me check my other side. Oh, yeah. And then I'll show you how I got the metallics. But basically what I did was once I primed it, I went ahead and painted everything in the background. I just turned it wrong. So we're just going to do it this way. I went ahead and did everything, like all my trim, and just left the part that I'm going to do paper on. So that is what I have left. And I'll show you that part in a minute when I turn this again. So let me grab my paper. So I decided on the sides, I'm going to use the Elaine's Journey. And then on the front, I'm going to use the big paper of the Passing Time. So I'm going to use both of these.
Fabulous.
So let me get my drill tools here. Make sure you can see. Okay. There you go. Okay, so this part here is, I'm going to put decoupage paper. So I want to measure this part here, like how high it is. But first I'm going to trim my paper. I could water cut this, but it's going to be right here and it's going to be up against this. So it really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do a clean cut because you're not going to be able to see it. I don't need it to blend. If I did need it to blend, I would water cut it. which on the front you have to because the paper is not long enough.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip. Thank you.
Yeah. And this paper, both of these are great to piece together because of the way they are. It doesn't look pieced, and you'll see in a minute when I show you the other side that I'm almost done with, how I pieced it, and you can't even really tell that it's pieced. So I'm going to just get this trimmed up.
I'm just making sure I get names on the wheel, you guys.
Ooh, names on the wheel. So remind me, what do they have to do to get their name on the wheel?
All we have to, like I can get in the pool prize. I wish. Anyways, all you have to do is like the video, share, and tag a friend. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then you can get a Decoupage Queen goodie bag. And they're very generous. There are some photos in the group that have been shared by some of the winners. So if you're curious, you can always go look there. And Teresa's very generous. That's all I can say. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, I've seen some of those prize packets and I've been like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm always just in shock and awe of what she does and how generous she is. All of it.
All the time. Yeah, you're right. 100%. All right. So I girl measured. So Ron's going to laugh at me. So I did, and it was 4.5 plus one little line. That's what I call it. 4.5 plus a line. And so I marked my paper in 3 places, and then I'm going to take and go straight across with my ruler to make sure I keep a straight line. And I'm going to just mark that with a pen or pencil or whatever. It really doesn't matter. And I could cut that with scissors or I could water cut it. I'm just going to water cut it. Oops. Where's my little water? Oh, here's my little water cutter. Sometimes I use a fat brush, but when I'm doing like detail work, I'll use a thinner brush to water cut because I don't want my line too big. So just, I want it pretty tight.
Fair enough. Okay, that's a good point too. Of taking the size brush does help of what you're using. Like you don't want to use a big old fat brush for it if you want a smaller line.
Right, exactly. Because then when you go to tear your paper, see my line's pretty clean. Yeah. When you go to tear your paper, it'll be a big fat water line and you'll be like, oh, where am I supposed to tear?
Good tip.
Yeah, so I'm just going to tear this paper and it just tears so nicely with the water. And put that over there. So I have my first cut here. Oops, did I pick the wrong side? Hold on a minute. I'm going to have the wrong side. Oh, yeah. See? So.
Perfect,
right?
It's just right.
Yep. And then you can either measure this or you can kind of put it up here and then kind of crease it with your finger, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm just going to crease it. You could decoupage it on like this. And then, like take a little razor when it dries and cut it if you want to. Either way works. Whatever you're more comfortable with, do that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to cut mine just to make it fit because we don't have on the live, we don't have time to wait for things to dry, right?
Right. We've got to improvise to keep moving forward, right?
Yeah, because I want y'all to see the whole process because if you've got something at home, I want you to feel empowered to do this. All right, so now I'm going to take, I'm using the Pen Art Decoupage Medium Varnish and Glue in Matte. And I am just going to get me a big scoop of this, and I'm just going to brush this on a nice, even, not too thin, not too thick coat because we do want our paper to stick, right?
Right.
And this stuff is great.
It is. I completely 100% agree. 100%. Terry Lightsey was actually the one who suggested it to me because I was using Mod Podge for years, and she was like, "Oh, why don't you try this?" And I was like, "Okay." And nothing else is any better. I just want to say hi to all the new ones. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for coming.
Hello. All right, so look how nicely that just fits on there. And if you have a little bit of area that is, don't worry about it, because we can dab a little paint or whatever on there, so no worries. So, but it fits really nicely on there. And then I just take my brush with my varnish and glue. That's why I like it, because it's going to seal my paper too. And I'm going to put it on here, seal that up. Isn't that cute?
I love it. I'm trying to come up with like the words are just not coming. It's gonna be fabulous.
Yeah, so that is the first piece. So let me do another piece. So here's a cute, and sometimes you might want to pay attention to where you are on your paper, and if you want, since we're at the bottom here, this would be kind of cool to have this part at the bottom, so just kind of artistically planning, where things are on your paper. So I do want that on the bottom of my paper. So I'm going to go from the bottom up this time, just because I think it'll look cool to have that kind of metro station at the bottom with the stamps. I think it's like Australia. It's like Queen. It's Australian stamps and whatnot. It's kind of cool. So I'm just going to cut this off, and then we're going to measure again. And get our little handy dandy ruler and girl measure at 2.5 inches. So I'm going to mark 3 places just because it helps me keep my line straight. About 2.5 inches here. Mark.
Got it.
And mark. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit of time when you're doing the 3 marks, but trust me, it'll be worth it, because if you ever cut your paper wrong, and you wasted a little piece of paper, you'll be like, it's not the end of the world, but
No, definitely not. You can improvise. You can, yep.
Well, yeah, because the Decoupage Queen papers, they blend so well. So if you do mess up, you could easily just piece your paper and nobody would ever know, right?
Nope, not unless you tell them.
Yeah, I blend papers all the time. Did you see the other day where I did that? That man, it was like a man and a woman, very Victorian, and he was handing her his heart, and it said, "Be my Valentine." It was like 3 papers that I merged together.
Yes, I did. And you wouldn't have known unless you knew, you know what I mean? Unless you knew or were in on the know.
Yeah, people were like, "Did I miss that paper?" And I was like, "No, I just came up with it." So
I saw some of the comments. I actually giggled a little bit. I'm like, "Oh no." I was like, "Yep, clever girl." I completely agree. They're able to meld in quite well, like with each other, and layer.
Right. Well, I still cut from the wrong direction, but that's okay. I was like, where's my thing? But I cut from the wrong way. So that's okay. We're going to do it again. 2.5.
We'll work through it. Hello, everybody. Hey, Miss Sonia, Miss Sue. Let's see. Terry said there's a clear piece at the end of Robin's desk. I was trying to figure out how she was writing in the air.
Oh. Yeah, y'all have to excuse my garage too. I've got stuff everywhere. Normally you see a different side of me. I've got everything turned around in the garage.
Hello, Miss Joy. We got Calgary, Canada.
Hello, Joy. All right, so I'm just going to water cut this again since Robin caught that wrong, but that's okay. No worries. We're still good.
Right.
And just tear right along my line there.
Quite a few names here.
Yeah, I have a glass on top of my table, and it just helps so much because you can spray it and scrape all the mess you made off.
That's true. I do like having a glass mat as well because then you can use it as like a kind of like a paint palette as well. I tend to do that a lot.
Yes.
Just squirt some paint or whatever, on it, just a little. Yeah, it's very, very helpful.
All right, so I think so. I'm just deciding like which direction, and I really like that this says boarding pass since this is a kind of a train trunk, right? So I think I'm going to go from this way that way so I can save that boarding pass word. So I'm just going to put some more decoupage medium on here. I'm scraping the bottom on my decoupage medium. I got another jar though, no worries.
I hope so. I hope so.
Oh yeah, you always got to keep backups, right?
Right. I know a few people who keep backups, and then backups for backups.
Yeah,
And
cannot be running out of decoupage medium ever. All right, so this one I left it a little long over here, and no worries because then I can show you, how we're going to cut that with a razor because this is a metal trim here. So, this way you don't have to measure and cut and whatever. You can just put it on there. And don't try to cut it wet though, because if you try to cut it wet, you'll tear your paper. But just let it dry and then take a little X-Acto knife and cut it off.
Yep.
All right, so we got that done. It's looking pretty cool, huh?
Oh, it's looking very, very cool. Very cool.
Good, and I'll touch my trim up a little bit there. I wiped some of it off. It's not quite set because I just did this today. Like I've been painting on this thing all day.
Prep work.
Oh yeah, prep work. All right, this is just a little bit long, but I think what I'm going to do is just trim it off just a little bit. Let's see from which direction. I like it. It has on here MTA Metro tickets. So I want to keep that. It's kind of cool. Like we're going somewhere, right? Like we're pretending we're going on a trip.
Exactly.
Could you imagine lugging one of these around with your things in it like they used to do on the train and stuff?
A different time, right? A different
Yeah,
time.
I couldn't imagine.
And how about what they used to wear too? Oh my goodness.
Right?
Wow, different time.
Exactly. They had to get hot, especially living in the South. Ooh.
I would have thought so. I don't know how they did. Well, obviously, I don't know. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It might have been cooler back then too, though. Who knows?
Maybe it was. Yeah, I hope so. Ooh.
The layers on layers, like the
Us ladies have come a long way. We're not wearing that crap anymore.
Done with the pants too. Thank you very much.
Yes. I'm spoiled. I work from home and I basically wear leggings to work every day.
I do work from home as well, so I pretty much, I'm relaxed fit most all the time.
Yeah.
So I can't. Yeah. No, I'm lucky. I get to wear my pajamas to work if I want to.
Yeah. When I first started working from home, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get dressed every day. How long did that last, Ronnie?
Oh, it's about half a day.
Half a day, you said.
Why am I in these clothes? Who am I trying to impress in front of no one?
Yeah. So our dress code at work says that for Zoom calls, you have to wear pants. And I guess somebody someday didn't wear them and stood up. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they had to put it in the dress code.
Wow. So you would think that would just be like common sense, but I mean,
You would think. All right, so this decoupage will dry clear, so I'm not really worried about it. But what do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
it's more than cool, Robin. It is more than cool. It's amazing.
So one thing I'm thinking, let me just grab this over here. So when you get to this point, like I don't really want to work around this thing here because it doesn't look fun to work around the thing, does it? So what you can do is you can just pick a complementary color and paint it. And then you can do some cool stencils and whatnot. So maybe, let me just see what this blue looks like. I don't know if I love this brush, but we'll give it a whirl.
You
And
can always
paint
like
this.
it too. Just whatever you need to.
This is called Midnight Blue, I think. Yeah, so I think it dries a little bit darker than what it is, but we'll see if we like it. It's paint. If we don't like it, guess what? We'll just paint over it.
Exactly.
But I think it looked cool with some stenciling on it,
And it goes with some of the blues and stuff that are already in the paper, so it makes everything pop.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so we'll see if it's not too bright though. But it might add, I mean, color's fun. You don't have to, I'm a neutral person, so that's why I'd be like, oh, this is so bright. Because I like grays and whites and taupes.
Grays, whites, and taupes. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so color is outside my comfort zone, but I've had clients who wanted me to paint stuff for them and they wanted color. Woo. I really had to stretch myself.
I am a color fan as well.
Tell that about you.
Yes, I do love putting bright colors together. I very much enjoy it.
Well, that takes talent for sure.
And all the colors too. It's a challenge to put them all together, but it's just fun. I like the psychedelic grunge, I guess you could say.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let me just give this a quick dry, and I'm probably going to have to do another quick little coat. I have my handy dandy dryer over here.
I'm just making sure I have all the names on the wheel thus far. So I'm just looking at the comments to make sure I've got everyone thus far.
How many people have trunks like this? And have you thought to decoupage them?
Carol said earlier that she has a trunk a lot like this. And then Mary Casey also said an aunt of hers bought one of these trunks when she immigrated from Ireland at the age of 16 in 1928. That's cool.
All right, let me just go back in here. I found me a brush I like better. I had a round brush and I like the flat ones for this detail work, just because you can get like right up against that trim. But if you use all water-based paints, it's no big deal. It's just easy to paint over water-based paints. That's why I love some water-based paints.
We do have a lot of comments.
All right.
When you were talking about when you were beginning the painting, we've got some ideas from our viewers. One was steampunk molds around the handle.
Yeah.
Then let's see. Miss Judy said you could put a piece in a few of the scraps to make it a tie-in or make it tie in.
Yep.
And then Miss Terry said she loves the stenciling idea and she can't wait to see how it comes through. We've got a lot. I'm trying to even catch up. Awesome ideas. paper, paint, stencils, molds.
I know. How much fun did you have with this? Right. And I do have a bunch of molds poured that I want to show y'all that would totally work with this. And I also have pulled a bunch of stencils just to give you some ideas, and we'll pick one and do some stenciling. But yeah, I mean, the possibility, you can definitely make this come together. And there's so many molds that have like similar things in it that you could totally use. I kind of like the blue. I'm digging it.
I do too, because it's really bringing out those other pieces and the colors in the rice paper, to be honest. So I'm really digging it. And Miss Terry said she had a trunk like that and gave it to the Goodwill, and she regrets it now. I bet I would regret it too.
Yeah, on the other side, I'll show you guys what I used on the trim and stuff, just for ideas. Get this dried up. It's probably going to take 3 coats of this dark color. I didn't do 2 coats of primer here, and that would have probably helped, but that's okay. We'll get it done.
Of course you will. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, Miss Sonia said her favorite part about DQ papers are the beautiful images. She said she can't paint or draw, so she loves that she can use them. I'm the same way, Sonia. I'm not like an artist painter like that, like Van Gogh or whatever. Yeah. Totally, I get it. It's like my hands are like, nope, we're not working with you. You can't, you can't draw. I've tried several times. Maybe I'll try again. I really should try again and see what my hands will do. But for now, our eyeballs are happy because we get to watch Miss Robin. So, yes, let's see. What other comments do we have? Yeah, Miss Terry said she had only gotten rid of that trunk because she was tired of lugging it around. Can't blame her, because those things are heavy. They were made heavy back in the day. And then you put stuff in it, and then it just becomes like, oh my gosh. It's a lot.
Sorry if I missed any questions. That heat gun is so loud.
No, I'm keeping up with chat. I haven't seen any questions so far. So far we're good as far as I can read.
One thing you want to do is let this is a metal, it has a metal thing, and so it gets hot with the heat gun, and before you slap paint on it, let it cool down. Because otherwise your paint will just kind of bubble up on you.
And move it, and you'll move it around, and then you'll lose paint in that area. It's crazy. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll end up sanding it to make it even again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Then you got to kind of start over. It's like, okay, yeah, if I would just waited
and let it cool off.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. I know it's always like that, Carol. It's like, you keep something for years, and then you're finally just fed up with looking at it, and you get rid of it. Then literally within months, you're like, oh man,
right.
I wish I would kept that thing.
You could be like me and donate stuff to the thrift store, and then shop at the thrift store and buy your own stuff back and go, oh, that's really cool. Oh, was that mine? Oh.
I love that. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That is
like,
hilarious.
Oh, well, it was for a good cause. Our thrift stores are for pet. They take care of stray animals in the community, so I don't mind donating to them because they've helped me out with the colony of cats. So it's pretty cool, and they build fences and stuff for dogs that are on chains and all that fun stuff. So they're really a good organization. All right, so that's my third coat. So I'm going to leave that and let that dry. So my paper's still wet, so I can't cut it off, but you get the idea. Now I'm going to show you guys. Let me just show you. Oh, so I have, if you want to think about this paper as well as this paper, because when I turn it around, I'll show you this paper on a side. You could really you could take this mold and like do a number that's special to you, like if it's your address or whatever, and you can like put it on there, would look cool, like paint this up and glaze it, maybe add some wax to bring out gold wax or something. That would be cool, huh?
Oh, that's a great idea. That is, yeah.
And there's all kinds of little pieces of molds. You guys have molds. I know, y'all can think of, maybe, since you have a hard line here, maybe you don't want that. And if you add a little piece of mold, it kind of breaks that up and looks kind of cool. You could do one on each side there. That would look cool.
Absolutely.
This is a postage stamp mold, and when you glaze it and all, that would be a kind of cool one, since it's about travel. And on one of the papers, this one, I think I might have cut it off. Oh, there's hearts, so you could actually add some little hearts, and there's tons of heart molds, tons of them that you could use, little ones, big ones, all kinds of heart molds that you could use. These birds would even be cool. Like if you did some, like birds or something, that would be kind of cool. Any kind of shapes like this would be cool. You could add them, like if you wanted to put one here, just to add a little something to it. That would be kind of cool right there, right?
Yeah. Add a little more like strength and strong to it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's just interest. It just adds interest. Or even like, they have these, and they have some of these that are like keyhole or whatever. They would be cute, like in the small spaces, just to kind of break up your paper a little bit. What else do I have? I have all kinds of stuff. And then you could rust them up too, like with the Pent Art rust effects. And then that would look super cool to have some rusty parts. Like, look at this.
Oh, wow.
Like this rusty keyhole or something. Like if you wanted to put it on the front or something, that would be cute. If you like fleur-de-lis, kind of are cool for travel, right? You could kind of add those in there. And one of the papers has butterflies on it. Oh, this one. So you could even take butterflies and add some whimsy to your chest. Little keys. Whoops. Hold on. I'm dropping my keys. If you did a lock, you could even do a little key. Rust it up with the rust effects. And then there's like these little medallions. Whoops. I think it's a guy. Hang on. Oh, it's upside down. See? Medallion. That's kind of cool. Like anything to give it interest. There's little clocks. Like some of these are IOD, some are Prima, some are ones you get off the Amazon. There's some smaller pieces like this. But you can get great detail with glazing and stuff. So we'll play around if we have time with some of these. But this is just a bunch. When I pour molds, I always keep other molds handy so that if I have extra resin, I pour all these little things, and then I have like a whole bucket of these. And when you go to do a project like this, it's like, oh, let me just pull my bucket. So, that's all right. So Jessica, I'm going to turn this, and then when we come back, I will show y'all some more ideas, and I'll show you how I did the trim over there.
All right. Sounds good. You go right on ahead. I'm going to catch up on some of the comments. I do want to, Miss Joy was very kind to share her trunk story with us. She found a trunk like the one you have. The inside was great, but the outside wasn't. So what she did was she copied a lot of black and white pictures of trees and a few very colorful ones. And then she decoupaged all of them on the outside of the trunk. And then the straps and metal fixings she made copper. And then she stained it in sepia. Her mom took claim to it. She was like, maybe I'll get it back one day, but she's not holding any.
Oh my
Her
goodness.
mom's 95. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. 95 years of history and everything. Wow.
That is amazing. What a great story.
It is. I just wanted, she was very kind to share that with us. So I really wanted to take the time and share that with everybody. Thank you, Miss Joy. All right, we're good to go.
Yeah, so I'm just backtracking a little bit. So on the other side, you saw where I had already done the trim. So this is kind of the stage that you would get after you've done your primer. And then what you do is you just decide what color you want your trim. And what I did is I mixed together. I first came in with just a black, like a matte black. And I just started painting where I knew that I wasn't going to have paper, because you don't want to do black under your paper. So I just kind of come in here and painted that. And I will say it took 2 coats of the black. And then I took and mixed a metallic black, like if I did a 1/4 cup of the metallic black was the majority. So it's 2 times the amount of the flat black. And then I added just a little bit of a silvery metallic glaze into the paint, just to give it a little bit of shimmer for my trim. But you do whatever you like. Like if you so this is your time to say, what color do I want this trim? And I may come back and splatter some copper on here, or do some rust effect on the trim. The possibilities of what you can do with it are endless, really. And I did put a coat of black on my metal trim that I did make copper, just because sometimes metallics do show up better on a black background. So I just kind of did that. So I just went all around and I did 2 coats of this. Just a flat black. And then I did 1 coat of my mixture of metallics. Like a black and a silver, it's kind of like a zinc. It's a zinc color is what it is. I didn't want to take away from the black, but I wanted it a little bit shimmery. And then wouldn't it be fun to rust it up?
Mm-hmm. Hello, Miss Agnieszka. Hello, Judith. Welcome everybody. Miss Stephanie, thank you for coming by. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Let me just dry a section of this so I can show you then what I do. I'll just dry this section up here. How are we on time?
We actually, about, let's go with 15 minutes.
Okay. All right. Good. We're good. Yeah.
About 15 minutes. It's okay if it's a minute or 2 over. If we need to spin the wheel, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And make sure you like, share, and tag a friend so you can have a chance in the goodie bag. Got quite a few names. I'm feeling good.
Nice. Nice. I am rooting for somebody to win and love that package.
And then share your makes with us, too.
Yeah, I'll share that with you. So this is just still the flat. So this is the 2 coats of flat on here. So let me dry that up, and then I'll show you the mix.
And I do like that mix with the black, the matte black on the back, and then like some of the metallic in the black, because I think that kind of gives it some extra strength, like strong, like metal basically is what I'm trying to get at. I think that's really, really cool. I love that.
All right, let me grab this so I can show you. Okay, so I've got my 2 coats of black on there. which I just use a flat black. And then those that watch my show regularly know we call these cuppy cups. And let's see if anybody's on that could say what goes with a cuppy cup. Does anybody know what goes with a cuppy cup? My regular watchers? Let's see if they get it, Jessica.
Yeah, like,
Curious, huh?
Spoony spoon?
Yes. Yes. So what I did was I took the little cuppy cup and then I took a little spoony spoon and I did 10. Okay, let me think. I did 10 of this is a black metallic that I use. It's called Little Black Dress. It's just a black metallic. I did 10 spoony spoons of black to 5 spoony spoons of Little Black Dress metallic. So metallic black 10, 5 of just a matte black. And then I came in, and this is called zinc, and it's a metallic glaze, and it's sort of it's like a silvery, it's like a gray, like a dark metallic. So it's not going to change the color of the black. It's just going to enhance it. And then I added about 5 of those, all in our little cuppy cup. And then I mixed that together. So I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but can you see kind of, it gives it a little bit of a shimmer?
Yeah, I can see it. I definitely can see it.
And you can see the difference. So this is I'm brushing that on now. And so it's just got a slight shimmer to the flat black there. So it just gives it just a little something extra, which I really like. All right, I'm not going to paint that. So you really want to think about on these trunks, like with your paper, like what colors are going to go with your paper. And, kind of just enhance those. I did my paper first on the first side, and then I decided on the trim because it's hard to tell just looking at the paper sometimes. And then when you get it on there, Of course, I had to use a little paintbrush to paint around everything then, So let me dry this and I'll show you what else I did. We're just doing this corner, so we're all good.
Can you name the papers again really quick? The 2 papers
Sure.
you're using today?
I used the bigger size, the A4. Is that right, babe?
A3.
A3 size of Passing Time. On the front, you're about to see that. You haven't seen that yet, but you did see the this is called Elaine's Journey. There, and I used the bigger size of that as well, the A3. Yeah, Ronnie knows all the sizes. He's awesome. Okay, now what I used too is I took and I'm going to enhance it more, but I want to show you like how I got to this step. So we have the black on. Then I use a bronze metallic. I just use the bronze metallic paint on this part right here. And it does take 2 coats normally of any metallic. I just find 2 coats works much better. So I just put some metallic on there. Just get that. And then I'm going to dry it so you can see what it looks like. And then when I turn it around, you'll see like all of it done. And then we're going to add a few more touches. Because why not?
Exactly. Why not? All right. I went and got the links of those 2 rice papers from your store, and I just shared them. So if anybody is is curious, or yeah, there are the links to those exact papers in Robin's store, y'all. So have fun, go shopping. You know, you can always find more, I'm sure.
Yeah, and yeah, one of them is retiring, so when it's gone, it's gone. Now, I did take a little tiny paintbrush, and I have little nail holes here, and I did hit those with with the metallic that matches that band. But again, your piece, every trunk, I think every one of these trunks is a little bit different. It'll speak to you. Like when you start doing it, it'll speak to you and you'll go, oh, I think I'll do that. And so yours may not be exactly like mine, but it'll be just as beautiful. So I'm just putting a second coat of that metallic on there. So my band is going to be this metallic here. And when I turn it around, you'll see what it looks like.
Oh,
So it's pretty good.
wow. Yes. I'm loving it.
Loving it. Okay, let me put my, I always keep my, when I'm working, I always keep my brushes in little Ziplocs next to the paint. That way I can keep up with what I'm doing. So otherwise I don't know what I've done and what I'm doing and all that good stuff.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to just turn this slightly. Oops.
Oh my
All right.
goodness.
Can you see that?
Yes. And that's the papers all there right there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So this is the other paper. And at first I did this up here in the same paper and it was too much. Like it was too much. I couldn't, it didn't balance it and it sort of was just too busy. So everything that I did that I've shown you, and I'll have to come back and touch up a little bit because like I said, on this side, I did my paper first so that I could figure out how I wanted my trim. And so I have this actually, because I put metallic in here and a little bit of zinc like I did, it looks like black leather, this here.
It does. It totally does. We're getting some comments so far. It's like, it looks amazing. And it's fabulous.
And this right here, I will take and I will sand this back. And you can take, let me just think, how much time we got?
We have about 5 minutes till I need to sand.
Okay, I won't do that. But basically, you can take and just sand this back and get any paint off. And you can take a glaze and go over this, a water-based glaze, and it'll actually act as a stain. Now, I do want to talk to y'all about stencils. So, you know, we have this area. I think these are Jamie Ray vintage stencils. But you could, these are like grain sack stencils. If you can see them, I don't know if you can see them, but there's like American Mills, and these would be super cute on here. Wonder if I could do one right quick. This is Kroger.
Squeeze one in, or what, however you want to say it.
Okay. And then I also, these are essential stencils. These are numbers. So like if you like numbers better, y'all want a number or you want a label? See, this has kind of got numbers in it. So, you know, you could just add a little number, you know, it would be cute. You could also use, Harlequins are always fun. I do have a number stencil that would be fun. Like you could just think about this L&J Goods makes the German grain sacks. They're super cute. I also thought on the front, like if you wanted to do like antiques or something, you know, that would be kind of cute. It's endless, right? So let me,
I think the label is winning. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. We just got 4 numbers in a row. Okay. I think numbers has actually taken over.
Okay. I kind of agree with that. So let's just do a number right quick. Let me grab my stuff. All right.
Oh, right. You guys got about 2 minutes to share and tag somebody before I close the wheel.
Y'all better get on it.
Just a couple minutes left.
Okay, so I'm going to just put it here, and I use tape just to hold it because, you know, I don't want to be trying to hold it up there. You know, if I weren't on with y'all, I might lay it down. So I like this, just a stencil brush, and of course you offload it. You know, you want it on there, but you want to offload it.
Right, you don't want all that. You don't want excess.
Right. And so just hold your stencil down and just start pouncing. And you can decide, like, if you want it very vibrant, you can go over it a couple times. But if you want it more muted, then, you know, you do it however you want to do it. And just pounce, pounce, or swirl if you're a swirler. It depends on the project or the size of the stencil for me. I'm sort of a mixture of both.
I can agree with that. Yep.
Yeah, I think it depends is what I'll say. It depends. Yeah, if I were able to lay this down, it would be much easier, but I wanted you guys to see.
Be able to see what you're doing. Yeah, I agree with you. If I wasn't on a live, I probably would lay it down myself.
Yeah, it's just much easier because it gives a little bit, because this is like a metal. And even though it looks like leather, it's metal. All righty.
Amazing.
All right, so let's see what this looks like. All right, there you go.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, yes, and it's clean. Look at, yeah.
Yeah. So it just adds a little bit. And then, of course, you can come in here with your, with any of your molds that you want. And like I say, you can fill in like some keys and some fleur-de-lis and stuff like painted to accent, like in golds and bronzes and stuff would be cute. Another thing you could do just real quick to enhance is use these pin art waxes. And even though I have up here the bronze, if you take just a little bit of this bronze and add it, it just really makes it look old. You know what I'm saying? Because you got 2 shades of bronze on there. Can you see that? Can you see the difference?
I saw it like literally as you put it on, like the first one, I could see the change. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you can just rub some of that on, and, you know, I have the gold one or whatever, and it really does. And I mean, it really gives it depth. The more you layer, the more depth you're going to have.
Yeah, that is really cool looking.
Yeah. So did I give you enough to make you like want to go paint a trunk?
A lot of people are actually like, man, I want a trunk. I have a trunk now. Yes, I'm just gonna say yes, absolutely. Yes.
And any paper would work. Like if this is not your thing, that's cool. Like any paper would work.
Oh yeah, you could girly it up. It doesn't have to be grungy. It doesn't have to be. It could totally be pretty and girly and whatever you wanted to make it. You just
Wonderful. Well,
project. Yeah. I really appreciate you sharing some of your process with us, because that is knowledge that I don't think a lot of people get, and that was really great of you to do that. That's amazing, because a lot of people don't know sometimes where to start or what to use. So
yeah, and just to let y'all know, like I don't carry them in stock, but I can custom order, as a lot of retailers can. You can get these papers in large format. So if you wanted to do a dresser even, and you wanted a big piece of paper, you can request from your retailer that you normally order from. You can request a large format. And I forget, like the biggest they come, it's like the 0 size is huge.
it's huge, isn't it? Like 4 or 5 feet. Maybe I'm blowing it up too much, but it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah. But ask your retailer if you're interested in that, because if you could imagine, that would, a paper would look super cool on a dresser or something. So don't just think of your decoupage papers for crafting, for small crafts. Think of them for bigger things as well.
Right. I think I got the, oh yes, the wheel is there. The wheel is there. I guess I need to move my screen up just a little bit.
Fingers crossed
All
for you.
Is everybody ready? Everyone ready? The fun spinning begins. Spin, spin, spin. All right, who is it? Is it gonna stay? It's gonna stay. All right, Nicole.
Nicole, she's a friend of mine.
Woohoo! All right, awesome. Congratulations, Nicole. Congratulations.
Yay!
If you will, just email Miss Terry at not at Terry. Email Miss Terry at decoupagequeen.com to claim your goodie bag. It's right there. So if you want to write it down really quick, write that down. And yes, she'll make sure you get your goodie bag. All right, I'm going to stop my screen share. There we go. All right, I hope everybody has had an awesome Saturday with us today. I am overjoyed. I learned a lot today myself from Miss Robin. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. That was really amazing. Thank you. And your time. Thank you. And everybody else, thank you for coming today and supporting Decoupage Queen and Miss Robin, and go to her shop, buy some papers. Yes. Until next week. See you later, everybody.
Bye. Have a great night.